Hold on. I'm going to contact Perez.
Okay. I don't know what Forrest is in this moment, but yeah.
Probably right about to call the old folks home to check in on my grandfather.
Yeah.
So I'll get that phone call instead.
Okay, so do you want to talk to it doesn't matter to me what we do first. Do you want to talk to the old folks home
Gabe.
or do you want to talk to Gabe? All right, talk to Gabe first. Go ahead.
Hey, Gabe, what's up?
Where did you get the slime again?
Uh, oh yeah, it was in Mama Sutra's um room, I think.
Huh.
Yeah, it was like
And
on the table. It wasn't in game, which is what really struck me as odd.
so these gelatinous slimes, do they take they take the personality of someone else, right? Or they have their own personality.
They have their own personality, but they essentially have the
They can
ability
morph.
to morph. Think like Mystique.
Ah,
They basically are like Mystique.
you know, something's very interesting for us. I imagine Gabe has like a back computer in his lab.
I'm sure he does.
What's so interesting?
When I was talking to Phoebe
Hmm.
to try to convince her someone was up, I tried talking about there was an ooze, and I tried talking to her room, and her room says something she does release ooze because it's after herself. Now, given that context and given what her via character does, I thought it meant other things.
Out of character, that
But
was on purpose.
yeah, I know, I know,
Yeah.
I know.
Misdirect. And you
Yeah.
fell
Gabe's
right
like,
into it.
yeah, but to be fair, Gabe's probably like, yeah, no, okay, no, I don't want to go that far. But he's like, I think she might be a gelatinous ooze.
Okay, that's news to me. I mean, honestly, in the moment, Yellow definitely thought it was something else too, so you're not alone in that situation. Um, I mean, it doesn't really change anything, does it?
No, but I mean, maybe he uses his leverage.
For what?
I don't know. A
I
gelatinous
mean, is it a
ooze.
secret that she's an ooze? Why would we even need leverage in the first place?
I don't know.
We
Back
already
then,
have dirt on her.
that's true. I don't know. So when you want put this on you, it tried to mind control you, or
No?
no? It just
It kind of wiggled around. It was happy, maybe. I don't know.
I. This is so confusing.
You're telling me. Um, yeah. I'm not real sure like what's going on too much. I mean, she's a news, whatever. I'm Dragonborn, so what? um,
Yeah,
you're an angel, or
I, I'm I'm
no,
I'm
not an
an Absalar.
angel.
Technically, I am half angel. I got that confirmed by my dad. So
Gabe Angel, cool.
yeah,
Um, right.
I I'm gonna keep doing some study on this.
Yeah. Don't let me stop you. Um, yeah. So if you needed like a any time, it's like you can call me. I'm gonna be in a call here soon, but yeah. Yeah. Do your research thing. I'm happy to help.
So okay, yeah, and we're going to hang up. So I do got a question. So Hark,
Mhm.
my thing is I can talk to and understand any intelligent creature,
Okay.
anything that is not like actual like an animal.
Okay. Okay.
Would I theoretically be able to talk to this? That's
All you get back is goo goo gaga.
Yeah, I like it's like I said, it's almost like a snake shedding its skin. So
okay.
the one. So by that I mean the skin itself. It's still organic material. It's still like, but it's not sentient.
Okay.
Like a snake's itself is sentient. The snake's skin itself is not sentient. It's still organic material. It's still part of the creature, but I don't know if you could actually have a conversation with it. So
Yeah,
that's what
no,
I'm saying.
that's what I was asking. So would
Yeah.
this be counted as an object now?
Sure. Sure. It's not an electronic object though, but
No, but I could talk to electronics and regular objects.
okay, sure. Then yes,
So,
you can.
that's what I was asking, because if it
Is
was like,
are objects compelled to tell the truth? I'm just curious. Are
I
they
think,
are they compelled to act to answer you? I guess is my question.
okay, so I
If you
don't
cut off your
think
finger, would it lie to you?
I think I know it has very limited knowledge it can actually give.
Sure.
So, and I think I sent this to you. So for at least objects, it's current rigs, okay. That's electron. Let's go. Okay, you can communicate with inanimate objects, granting that they have ability to speak to you or reading impressions on them. This
Mm-hmm.
requires two. I have that.
Mm-hmm.
I think if I remember, it's mostly like they can't like have like a straight up conversation. It's mostly stuff that's happened around them.
Right. So I guess my question is, are they being forced to answer? Are they being
Uh
forced to be truthful?
I
I
don't
guess is
think
my
they're forced to be. I don't think they're forced to be truthful, but but they don't have really a personality from what it's imagining. But that also comes from something else, so it's easily that this thing.
right. This one's a little bit trickier. Like if you
Yeah,
were to, it still used to be part of where it came
Creature.
from. Therefore, I even though it's neutral-ish, it's still probably going to behave in a way that is not going to um I guess what I'm trying to say is it's not compelled
yeah,
to like betray where it
yeah,
came from, is what I'm
yeah,
saying. So versus if you were just to ask a random object that like witnessed something that a person did, they don't have like loyalties to that person necessarily, but this one kind of does. So that's the only thing I'll say. Like you can
yeah,
definitely do it, but just right, like I said, don't expect too much out of this. It depends on when you ask it.
yeah.
So, or if it, go ahead.
So first, I have to make a magic check to see if it beats 14.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm not 20 on something I really don't need need it
Great.
to be.
Okay.
So he just kind of looks down and he goes, "Can you hear me?"
Yes.
Okay.
And it'll have a neutral, gender neutral voice.
Yeah.
Non-descriptive, gender neutral voice. Go ahead.
Were you a part of someone named Phoebe Messer?
No.
No. Who were you a part of?
Meba.
Meba.
Meba. It repeats.
What's Meba's relation to Phoebe Messer?
Phoebe Messer is one of Meba's forms.
Oh. Was Phoebe Miller ever someone? Or someone made up?
Made up.
What's the goal?
To blend into society.
I see.
We are not typically trusted creatures. We just want to live amongst the people in peace.
That's why you're helping the outcast. Or they're helping the outcast.
Yes.
Do you know about the brainwashing?
No. No one is being brainwashed.
Insight.
Go ahead, roll an insight. You believe that it believes no one's being brainwashed. You believe that it believes.
What if I would tell you that Meba could be in danger?
It doesn't respond. Like, it doesn't say anything after that.
What would happen if Meba knows I know their secret?
She would be asked to allow herself to live in peace.
All right. Thank you.
And then the spell ends.
Yep.
Out of character, I will just say that the proper spelling for amoeba is lowercase m, 0, as in the digit 0, E, capital B, and then the @ symbol. Amoeba.
Gabe was
I'll-
like, hold on, can you
Cool.
spell that for a
Yeah.
moment?
You're not going to know
Spell.
that, but out of
Yeah.
character, that's how the name is properly spelled.
I like the idea,
Out
cast
of the
spell. How do you spell that again?
I was going through thinking, must require 3 special characters, 1 capital letter, 1 lowercase letter.
Just really quick, while I'm doing the cooking, I also want to use the paper to contact Dr. Janice.
Mhm.
I'll just write, Forrest is going through some stuff. Maybe check in with him. He could probably use some help.
She'll respond back and she'll say, it's understandable. Forrest probably should talk to his grandfather whenever he has a chance.
Thanks.
Speaking of which, Forrest, you said you were trying to call the
Yeah,
whatever
the
you
old
call
folks'
it,
home.
the old folks home. Okay. Yeah, there'll be a nurse that'll answer and we'll say whatever the name of the home is, and they'll just say, how may I help you?
Hi, I'm calling in. I wanted to check on a patient at your facility.
Sure.
Yeah, Nathaniel Bosk. Just wanted to see how he's doing.
She's looking up something. I guess she'll ask first, like, who may I ask is calling? That would naturally.
Forrest. Forrest Esmeralda. I'm his granddaughter.
She'll look it up. Miss Esmeralda, Nathaniel Bosk's condition has started steadily declining over the last 24 hours. Based on these notes, we're not sure how much time he has left.
As soon as steady decline over 24 hours, immediate hang up, and I'm just booking it towards
Okay.
the old folks' home.
Okay. If you're booking it, you're not being stealthy about it. Any of the PCs can notice that you're rushing out of the house.
I will activate Allegro, and I'm just
Alright.
gone.
Oh,
I'll look
There
at my
you go.
tracker to see where they went.
Sure. You can keep an eye on where they're heading. They're heading towards whatever part of the city the old folks' homes is, but I don't know if you would be able to like put 2 and 2 together. Up to you.
Okay. I'll probably have to wait until they stop, but once they stop, I'll kind of know.
Okay.
And I'll send the new location to V, as well as to Gabe.
Okay.
And do I finish cooking in that time, or do I ruin the apple tarts?
Roll a cooking.
Nat 1, baby.
Oh no! Yeah.
no!
It's terrible. Oh,
I just leave them in the oven and run.
right. You leave them on the run. It'll probably like set fire. You got with a natural one. That's like, oh yeah, the oven's on fire. But Buford, I'm sure will be able to take care of it. But yeah,
Buford.
you broke the toilet. You broke the oven.
funny enough, I think I do have and like a fire system.
Okay, so sprinklers will probably go off at some point. Sure. Okay.
I'll get in contact with Gabe and just be like, Forrest took off. Here's the location. Ping. Heading there myself.
Should we just leave them? Just something
Nope.
they need to be alone.
Okay.
I'm going.
You're going over there.
Gabe's gonna leave them to have their thing.
So, okay. So Forrest, you will get there first. And if you want to go up, I'm presuming you're going to go over to the front desk. You're going to say you'd like to go see Nathaniel. You know,
I'm going straight past. I'm not even going to the front desk. It's just running right past to where I know
the
his room is.
The nurse will probably go, sir, and then you're going to run past, and then I'm sure she'll call security because you just went right past. And, you know, you'll get over to Nathaniel's room. He's paler than he was before. He has his eyes shut, but he does look like he's still breathing. And you can see that he's hooked up to the machine that's keeping track of his vitals and his heartbeat.
No. I'm going to connect minds with him.
Sure, you can do that. And I mean, while he's happening, I'm gonna say like security would have reached the room, and they're going to, start asking, like, "Sir, I'm sorry, but you need to leave." Uh-oh.
There is. That was a natural one.
Oh no. Okay.
There is an immediate turnaround, and everyone has seen Forrest in conflict before. Typically, they're very, very reserved, very not pushy at all, and there is a fury in Forrest's eyes that no one has ever seen before.
Forrest
Not that any of the characters know.
Forrest is going Dark Phoenix. Is he about to melt their brains?
One chance to leave me the hell alone. Go!
I'm going to say that that might be also accompanied by some magical compulsion.
Yeah, they would need to make a wisdom save.
I'll just say they automatically fail, and the security will just, have this fear in their eyes and say, okay, this dude's got issues, so we're just gonna let them have whatever it is this moment, even though that's completely beyond protocol. But the compulsion, is causing them to behave differently from what they normally would do. So sure, they'll leave the room. And you can connect to Nathaniel Bosk. Yes.
Shut the door, lock it. If there's a dresser or something, pull something in front of the door so no one can get in.
Yep. So I guess you'll enter Nathaniel's own mind palace as well when you're connecting. How do you envision this to work? If you're connecting.
The mind palace thing that I do is it's kind of like a pocket dimension that I've created with my mind.
Okay.
So it's not necessarily something that everyone does or whatever. It's just something I've kind of done.
How do you see this playing out when you're connecting to his head?
I guess if we want to do it like that, we can have a moment where...
Up to you. I'm not sure what form this conversation is going to take. Is it you're disembodied spirits in a swirling, blurry darkness? Is it you're actually in some sort of imaginary virtual location? How is this?
I guess, what is Nathaniel thinking about right now?
Nathaniel has deep, deep fear right now. He's very scared because he's afraid of death. So right now, that's the biggest thing in his mind, is a lot of uncertainty and fear, and he doesn't want to go. He doesn't want to go.
How would you envision that happening, in his head?
In his head, it's basically there's a storm brewing, and his entire world before him, everything he's ever known, is just disintegrating away. And he's desperately trying to grab a hold of it and desperately trying to latch on to life, basically, as it's ebbing away from him.
I think I'll kind of just appear next to him in wherever he finds himself in the moment.
Yeah. You'll probably find him in this darkness, and it's, like I said, he's just trying to grab a hold of whatever he perceives is the world around him, but it just keeps dissolving in his fingers as he's trying to grasp them.
Father, can you hear me?
Amarillo, is that you?
Yes, I'm here. I'm here. What's going on?
I'm scared, Amarillo. I thought I was ready, but I'm not. I'm not ready. I don't want to go. Not now. I don't want to go.
I'm just gonna run towards him and put my arms around him. It's alright. I'm here. I'm here with you. I know. I don't want this to end either. Just, you're gonna be alright. We're gonna get through this.
There's just so many things I still wanted to do. So many things I want to experience, and it's just... I just wanted more time. That's all. I just wanted more time.
We'll get it. We'll get it. We'll figure something out. I imagine in the moment I'll try any sort of healing abilities, but it's
not going to work. There was a man who said that they could help me, and I'm hoping it's true, that I can still live on. Maybe not in this world, but maybe as the captain.
I don't want a captain. I want you.
That's what I want too. But we tried finding other ways, but none of them succeeded, and this is the only chance I have with still being able to have something with you, Amarillo. I just hope it works.
It won't be the same.
No, it won't. That's the biggest thing that hurts me the most, is it'll be me, but it won't be me. I'd like to believe that there's a part of me, though, inside that would still remember this, still remember where I came from, my roots. But I don't know. I'm so scared, Amarillo. I'm so scared of losing that.
I am too. I wouldn't ever want you to forget me. And if you move on, I swear I will find you. I will go to the Raven Queen myself if I have to.
Everything around me is crumbling to pieces, Amarillo. I just promise me that you won't disappear too.
I won't.
You are the definition of my hopes and dreams, Amarillo. I want you to live for me. I want you to experience the things I've never experienced but wanted to. I want you to find joy in this world, and I want you to make sure that every moment you have counts, because you don't know how long you have here.
I'm not sure if I can find joy without you.
If everything goes well, I will see you again. And we will have more time together. But I just wish we had time here too.
I'm sorry. I abandoned you.
You didn't abandon me. How could you say that? How could you say that?
Here, and I haven't. I've had so many opportunities. And I know recently I've been busy, but it doesn't explain the last 7 years.
You were living your life. That's what I wanted you to do. I didn't want me to slow you down. That wouldn't be fair.
Nothing is fair. None of this is fair.
I don't want you to live with any regrets. Believe me, I've had enough of my own. If you ever find yourself in your deathbed just like myself, hopefully when you are lived a very fruitful life, I don't want you to have any regrets.
I won't. I promise.
As you look at him, he, again, the fear in his eyes seems to be running very deep. And he says, I feel cold, Amarillo. I feel very cold.
I'm gonna embrace him. And I'm gonna try to meld my mind as much with his and just try to transfer as much love and support and caring over my mental bond as possible.
You will transfer that into him, and it seems to comfort the man. And as that's happening, you start to feel empathically this deep fear, this fear of death that he has. And but the thing is, you also feel a separate fear, not as intense as the fear of death, but a fear of the truth and whether or not he should say something to you or if he should keep it to himself and take it with him without saying anything to you. That's what you're feeling right now.
I think instinctively, having just figured it out from today and everything, Ellen, what happened? Something happened. What happened?
He says, I'm sorry, Amarillo. I can't tell you what I did, but I can show you. If you go back to the ranch, do you remember the box that I keep under my bed?
Yeah.
If you want to know, you should open it. But if you are completely satisfied with your life right now, if you're completely satisfied with letting a secret die with me, which is what I hoped it would do, then stay away from the box. The choice is yours. I can't make that choice for you. It's up to you if you want to learn something or not about the past, about my past. I just don't want you to think ill of me because of it. I just want you to remember me the way I am now. Someone who loves you and cares for you and has put all of his hopes and dreams into you.
I would never think ill of you.
It's comforting to hear.
Anything that stupid locked box could contain could never change that.
He'll just nod. It's happening. Don't want to go. Don't want to go. I'm not ready.
I'll release him. I'll take a few steps back.
You do.
Smile.
And finally, the last features of this mind palace, or whatever you want to call it, this pocket just disappears into the blackness, and so does the image of Nathaniel Bosk. And as soon as he starts to disintegrate away, all of the darkness around you suddenly flashes into a bright white light. And it just blinds you for a few seconds. And at that moment, you will wake up to the sound of the monitor going flatlined.
Just collapse onto the bed. Just cry. For a long time. I don't know how long, but it's going to be a long time.
Meanwhile, is it Cade and Gabe who are arriving at the home, or is it just Cade?
Just Kate, I believe.
Cade, you will arrive at the home where there are a ton of old people. Ton of old people around here.
Yeah.
Just FYI. What do you do?
Because I have the tracker, I don't really want to go into the old home.
You don't have to.
I'll walk around to where the tracker is pointing towards the window.
Sure. Yeah, I'll say there's a window there. Sure. You'll walk around and you'll probably hear sobbing coming from the window, and recognizably that's Forrest sobbing.
Okay. Kind of just peeking in there, seeing Forrest crying, seeing Nathaniel on the bed, and the shut door, just taking it all in. Cade will just kind of put his back towards the wall and just kind of be present and hold space and just let it happen. And just let him cry it out.
I also think that in this moment, Forrest's mind will be just flailing wildly about, and you've felt them connect mentally with you before, and there is just an intense pain to the connection, and it seems to be kind of omnipresent everywhere. And there's just a deep, immense guilt, sorrow, pain. Just transferred over that bond, no words, and you're not even sure they've recognized that they have actually connected.
I won't flee from it. I'll just hold space for it.
Yeah, unlike all the other previous connections that Forrest has had, you can't end it willingly. And I think at some point, I'll just die down. Telekinetically, shove the bookshelf back in place, unlock the door. I'm gonna just go out the window.
Okay. Sure. You go out the window?
I did message V.
Yes.
Would V have arrived at this point?
Yeah, where did you want her to meet you?
So I originally was going to have her meet us at Gabe's house, but then I sent the message saying, hey, change of location, and then pinged where I had the tracer. So here.
Sure. V will arrive there, and I think she will immediately see Forrest distraught. And V, who normally is, pretty chipper and doesn't seem to, she rolls with the punches pretty easily and doesn't seem to be very few things upset her or, cause her to show any extreme emotion. But when she sees Forrest crying, her face immediately shifts and she goes, "What happened? Is it your grandfather?"
I think just at first there's just a surprise, not necessarily oh, it's V. It's more like, oh, someone's talking to me.
Mm-hmm.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So, barely audible, a yes. And
I'm very sorry, Forrest. I know this might be something that you've saw coming, but I'm sure it's still no less painful.
you don't have to pretend to know my pain.
Can we do anything for you? Do you need a drink?
I don't drink. I need to find a locked box, is what I need to do.
She tilts her head. What kind of locked box?
Combination box. It's
Where?
underneath the bed. At the ranch.
If you need something unlocked, I can help you with that. It's the least I can do.
I think he gave me a combination, but I don't remember it.
Whatever it is, I'll figure it out. Would that give you comfort?
I think so.
Then I won't ask any other questions. Just lead me to the box.
There's a moment where Forrest just hugs her.
She will clutch you back. And for a moment, I'll say that maybe you have this imagination vision in your head of the two of you back when you were really young and you first were becoming friends back at the orphanage. And maybe there was a moment back then when a similar thing happened where you were really upset and you just needed to hug somebody, and V was there and she gave you a hug back. So maybe you're remembering
For
that
the first
moment
few
or those
weeks,
moments.
being at the orphanage, it was definitely me crying myself to sleep at night and just hugging V.
Yeah. So maybe, yeah.
It just immediately goes back there.
You've been through a lot, more so than most of us. We shouldn't forget that. I'm very sorry.
I wish I could forget it. At the same time, I don't want to.
I don't think you should forget things, not from your past. They lead you to where you are today, for better or for worse.
Yeah. Are you coming, Cade?
Yeah, of course.
Where's Gabe?
He's decided to stay back for now.
Okay.
Let's go to the ranch then.
Yeah. Just gonna walk to the ranch. Wherever
Yeah.
that is from here.
Yep. You can head over there.
On Cade's part, he's just become Amarillo's silent shadow forests.
When I get there, what does it look like?
I mean, your grandfather hasn't been there in forever, and I don't know if you personally have maintained anything there. So if nobody's been there, then it's probably dusty and unkept and decrepit. You know, everything's overgrown, and you know, I think you'll probably notice, if anyone is paying attention, that maybe V herself is even a little creeped out a little bit by this ranch, but she just out of respect to Forrest, she's not gonna comment on it at all. And if you want, you can easily unlock the door. I'm assuming you have the keys to the house, and so you can make your way up the stairs. Cade, you definitely will recognize this from Forrest's Mind Palace. And you'll go over up to the bedroom, and Clea, there's going to be this dusty, locked box underneath it. And Viridian's going to carefully pull it out. And she's going to, just blow against the dust, look at the combination, and she'll say, piece of cake. You want me to unlock this now then?
Do it.
She'll take her out her claws. She doesn't even need lockpicks. She just takes out her claws and she just fiddles a bit with the device. And then, yeah, it'll click and it'll open up. Inside are a number of items. First off, I will point out that there are a few photographs in there. There is a photograph in here that shows Nathaniel Bosque when he was younger in life. One of which particularly catches Cade's eye because it appears to be a photograph of Nathaniel Bosque with a friendly arm, just like around a younger looking Dr. Kemper. That's number one. Number two, there's another photograph that shows Nathaniel Bosque. It looks like it's a birthday party for a younger kid's birthday. And Nathaniel Bosque definitely looks way younger here, like probably in the human equivalent of 30, probably around, give or take. And there's this younger kid who is not a dragonborn, but there's a dwarf, and it looks like he's just blown out the candles of this birthday cake. And the dwarf, if you look at his face, it is a younger version of Dennis from the orphanage. That's number two. Number three, there's a whole bunch of journal entries in that he's kept, like notes that have been ripped from a journal, I guess. And it's basically talking about how he just has this obsession about death. Like he's always thinking about the end and how he can escape death. There has to be a way for him to escape death. There has to be a way for him to live on. He has notes about this new sensational game that's popped up, this new virtual game called Vita. And you'll see a business card in there for an old business card of a developer, a senior lead developer from way back when, Michael Stoll. That's number three. Number four, another thing in the box is talking about how he's found a way to possibly continue living on. It's experimental, but he signed up to be a guinea pig for it. He wants to clone himself, thinking that if he clones himself, he might be able to live on as that person, to be able to let that person live his hopes and his dreams and become, I guess, an extension of his life. He succeeded, and he decided to name his clone Amarillo. Those are the only things of interest in his box. V is just going to look through all of these, and the one that she catches a sight on is the one picture of Dennis's birthday party. And she's just watching it, and she doesn't seem to recognize who Dennis is, but she's studying it very carefully.
Just taking everything in stride. No judgment, nothing. It's just void of emotion, staring at everything. All right. Certainly answered some questions.
V will sort of look at the journals as well, and she says, "A clone? That's weird."
It is weird. Very weird.
If you don't mind me saying for us, didn't you say so yourself? You had identity issues? Didn't you say to yourself that you weren't exactly sure who you really were, who your true self was?
Shit. Oh.
Was Nathaniel Bosk biologically born a man? Did you ever know?
Never had a partner.
It would also
Yeah.
explain maybe why your parents didn't want to have anything to do with you, because according to this, they weren't really your parents to begin with.
Yeah. A lot of things make sense now. I'm going to shuffle everything up, put it back in, lock it, shove it back under the bed. If there's conversation, I'll continue the conversation, but I'm going to basically pace the entire house. I'm looking for anything that would be weird, abnormal, anything like hidden, or if there's like a room or something in the basement.
Roll a perception search, I guess. I don't know if there would necessarily be anything like weird. There's no like secret room in here or anything. There isn't like Nathaniel Bosk had a secret lair. But I think one thing you will find, maybe there's a spot in the kitchen, like we'll say in some corner of the kitchen, and you pass by this corner all the time, like never really thought much of it, but now that you're just like sort of even like obsessively like looking around for any other information around this house, you probably will find some faded markings like on the kitchen wall. And you realize it's not so much that the markings are faded, it's that there are markings there that were painted over with paint, but you can just barely make out that something was written underneath the paint.
Do any of you have like a scraper or something? Maybe we could scrape the paint off.
I stayed in the room.
You stayed
So
in
I'm
the
not
room?
with you anymore.
You stayed upstairs. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
Basically
People
just
there.
trying to be in.
I might be able to do something. She'll MacGyver something that can scrape the paint off, I guess.
She uses a kitchen knife or something.
Sure.
That's probably old and rusted at this point. But...
Right. But she'll figure something out. She'll start scraping. It takes a while because she's trying to be very careful to scrape the paint and not the markings underneath the paint. But eventually she does. And what it appears to be is you know how as kids age, they like mark their height on the wall as they go taller and taller and taller. And so it does appear that somebody who used to live in this house was keeping track of their height as they grew up through their childhood. And you see like dates back in the day, and you can actually see that these dates were written in your grandfather's handwriting, in Nathaniel Bosk's handwriting. And there's like names next to each marking, you know, like for example, if it was me, it was Hark 1985, Hark 1993. And then it just says Dennis. Wait, Dennis. That name sounds familiar. Someone named Dennis used to live in this house.
I don't think I recognize the dwarf. I don't recognize the dwarf.
You can choose not to, if you'd rather.
I think I would not recognize the dwarf. I knew him for a day and then I killed him.
That's true. That is true. You only knew him for barely a day. Yes, that's true. That's true. But I'm pretty sure Cade would have recognized him.
Yeah, but Cade's not here.
But Cade's not there at the moment.
Can V read?
Can V read what?
The name?
Yeah, I mean, she reads it. She's the one who says, Dennis, why does that sound familiar?
I don't know. It sounds familiar. I don't know a Dennis, but I feel like I should.
Considering the amount of time that passed for them to scrape it off,
Yeah.
I want to reopen the lockbox.
Sure.
having paid attention to it being opened.
Sure. I will say that now that V's had a crack at it, you can open it yourself without any issue.
I'll take out the picture of Dennis
Mm-hmm.
and kind of just look at him and just kind of get a smile on my face.
Mm-hmm.
I want to pocket that picture.
Okay.
Same with the one with Dr. Kemper.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And then I'll just reshut the lockbox and lock it and push it back under the bed.
Mm-hmm.
And head downstairs. And I imagine they'll probably still be working on that wall.
Sure. So, I mean, if you want to witness what I just said, you can witness all of that.
I'll just take note of it for now and try and... Dennis was old when he died, right?
Yeah.
I think he was like 60 or something.
For now, I don't think I will say anything. Just absorb.
Could you also roll me an insight, please? Sorry, I'm asking a lot of rolls today.
14 flat, but I'm pretty sure my insight's negative.
Yeah, I think -3, you said?
-1 for insight.
Yeah. 14. Yeah, for us, it's very dejected, and something seems familiar about like the way they're looking around and like how they seem to be thinking. Something that seems familiar to you. And
this familiarity I'm feeling, is it similar to how you were in your pocket dimension, or are you referring to something else? Like what memory would ping?
The memory that would ping was when you were in the alleyway and that night you got accosted by that guy in the store. Like that is what pings.
And
not necessarily
familiar with the feeling.
It's because you're familiar with the feeling.
Gotcha.
All right. Well, I don't think we can get any more answers from here.
At that point, I think V is just going to very gently put her hand on your shoulder and just say, did that help you at all? Or did it make things worse?
It helped, I think. I mean, it answered a lot of questions I've been wondering about for a while. A few of them I even guessed, but so many more have opened up, which I think is a good thing.
There's a lot of people that's connected to your grandfather. Maybe they have some of the pieces of the puzzle then.
He was a community man, so I'm not surprised. He didn't run a community center or anything, but he did love to talk with people. He had LARPing sessions. So I think I would like to talk to a few of those people he knew.
The ones that are still alive.
Yeah.
Out of character.
Out of curiosity.
Yes.
With the well-informed feat that I have.
Yes.
In combination with knowing Dennis, in combination with knowing a bit about Dr. Kemper.
Yes.
And now being in here.
Mm-hmm.
Can I roll something to try and put any connections that I might be aware of together?
Sure. Go ahead.
Okay. Big roll, baby. Let's go. Luck point. I rolled an
Nice, nice.
All right. That puts us at 23.
Okay. You will know that Nathaniel Bosk, he's a very giving person, and he's very invested in youth. And it would probably not surprise you that through his life, he might have taken in or adopted kids along the way. Amarillo certainly was one of them that we've known about for a while, but we can probably presume that this Dennis person maybe was somebody that he had adopted or taken in and taken care of for some time. So I can tell you that. As for Dr. Kemper, you basically now have knowledge that Dr. Kemper and Nathaniel Bosk were friends, or at least had been at a certain point in time, and that at least close enough such that I'm sure Nathaniel has expressed his fear of death to Dr. Kemper, and perhaps Dr. Kemper had some connections with the Vita program, even though Dr. Kemper himself is not a programmer, but maybe he had some connections, perhaps was the one who even introduced Michael Stoll to Nathaniel Basque, and perhaps Michael Stoll has something to do with this new experimental thing that happened that helped him clone somebody. Does that help you at all?
Yeah. I will become Forrest's silent shadow once again.
So, what's the next step, or do you just want to take it easy for us the rest of the day?
I think I want to take it easy for today at least, but I will be very active in the coming months. I think we should contact Gabe as well.